Hello, everybody. Dune Buggy, the Presidents of the United States of America, here on KRFF 95.9, Radio Free Fargo.org. We're everywhere you want to listen to us. We're streaming, again, at RadioFreeFargo.org. What is this now? What in the world? Question mark, exclamation point, with Wilson. I'm your boy Wilson. What in the world is the context behind this hour? I curate the written and visual pages of the interwebs, and I find the craziest stories that make you go, what in the world, bruh? And today's no different. I got an hour packed full of stuff that'll get you scratching your head. We're going to talk about Gene Hackman's death. That's sad, and it's crazy. So it gets mentioned here. We got another crazy name change. We got a wacky dude trying to smuggle drugs in a wacky way. We're going to cover all that this hour. What in the world with Wilson? After me, Stinky Arts Music Mart's last show. Unless I'm bad at math, but I think it is. He'll tell you probably for sure. But again, I'm going to miss that stinky smell in here as I leave. Again, check out Stinky Arts Music Mart last show after me, 5 to 7 here on KRFF 95.9. This show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy. Black Cottage Alchemy on the Facebook. 1,200 megs of locally grown hemp whipped up into a fun tub of butter for your outer body. We got colloidal in there, comfrey in there. We got magic in there. We got Dr. Pepper in there. We got the sweat glands of a cougar. That's how good this stuff is. Black Cottage Alchemy, thank you for sponsoring this show. I used to do all the drugs, and I always feel like I have to preface it with bath salts or fentanyl, notwithstanding. But now I don't anymore, and I credit the man upstairs for coming down inside me, which sounds kind of weird now that I say it out loud, and helps me walk straight. And I show him props every Sunday, 417 Main Avenue, Antioch Church, 10 a.m. recovery, 11 a.m. worship. That's how we do it. Now, we're going to keep right on pushing through this. Learn about underwriting opportunities with nonprofit Radio Free Fargo, 95.9 FM, KRFFLP. Increase public visibility and create a positive image. Underwriting may increase website traffic and possibly offer tax deductions. To learn more, please message us at our website, www.radiofreefargo.org. Well, let's get into that first what in the world with Wilson story. All right, let's see what my mouse cue tells me. This one should be good. This is from The Guardian. Nearly 500 cat figurines have been stolen from Gordon Ramsay's London restaurant. Now, I don't know what he's doing with all of them. Apparently, he's lost more than 2,000 pounds of Maneki Neko cat models. Again, I thought this was a restaurant. I mean, you know what my knee-jerk thought is Gordon Ramsay be cooking cat there? But, you know, I'm a freak. But what you doing with all them cat figurines, bruh? You donkey? You fat donkey? Well, Gordon has it coming to him. He's always hollering at everybody. Plus, I always wanted to say, you know, you can't cook, you fat donkey, over the radio. It's been a dream of mine. And I just realized I was able to say that. Nearly 500 cat figurines were stolen in 1 week from Gordon Ramsay's new London restaurant. The restaurateur recently launched Lucky Cat. Oh, it's got cat in its name. Again, not great. I mean, unless you're cooking cat, it just... All right, but apparently there's Japanese cat models called Maneki Neko. It's in one of London's tallest buildings. There has been numerous thefts. Ramsay said the cats are getting stolen. There were 477 stolen last week. They cost $4.50 a piece. This amount would mean the chef lost a total of 20-some hundred pounds during 1 week. The city of London said it had not received any reports of theft from the restaurant. It's kind of ironic because they're believed these figurines within Japanese cultures to bring good luck and have been a feature in the Lucky Cat restaurant. Ramsay said it does get a bit scary in terms of how big it is in the global impact. He's got 80 restaurants globally. Well, good for him. Anyway, that's that. I'd read more, but it's just basically Gordon Ramsay talking about himself. I figured we'd have a little more about the cats, but... Okay, we got something fun for you. This is from Dexerto. Pokemon fans are bidding thousands on a Charizard-shaped Flamin' Hot Cheeto. And I'm looking at this thing, and you guys can Google it, too. They call it the Cheeto-Zard. It evolves from Cheetah Leon. And one of the most ridiculous Pokemon collectibles of all time is fetching bids in the thousands after first going viral years ago when it was discovered in a pack of Flaming Hot Cheetos. So somebody must be holding on to this, right? Hey, kids, do you like Charizard? Of course you do. We'll get a load of this. Back in 2024, First and Gold Collectibles in Georgia revealed they had been doing some cleaning when they uncovered their Cheeto-Zard in the back. The Cheeto-Zard is literally just a Cheeto shaped like a Charizard. But the orange snack was so cool that they decided to preserve it and add a Pokemon card frame. Eventually, as per Polygon, Arena Club acquired the Flamin' Hot Cheeto after seeing how a Pikachu-shaped Cheeto sold for $26,000. And that is, like, what in the world are you doing? $26,000 for a Cheeto, bruh? Get your life together. They then included it as a mystery card prize, where one lucky buyer ended up getting their hands on the item, which they probably turned their fingers orange. Anyway, on February 10th, the Cheeto-Zard resurfaced, and fans are bidding big bucks for the non-official piece of Pokemon history. The auction is set to end on March 1st, so people, get your Bitcoins out and get you a Charizard Cheeto. On February 20th, Cheeto's top bid eclipsed at the 1,000 mark. It's up to 15, and right now the highest bid is $2,100, which is a lot to pay for a Chingle Cheeto, even with inflation. This isn't even the highest selling Cheeto. Apparently a Harambe-shaped one made headlines after hitting $100,000 on eBay. And so I have gotten some strange food-looking things in my life, and I thought, this looks just like, Mary, Saint Mary, this waffle looks a lot like Buddha. Maybe I should get some money, and then I just eat it, and it's too late. So what do we got here? Hiker. This is from the West News. And I thought we were the West, but this is about China, so I don't understand the whole West News thing. But I'm not a real smart guy. I'm just a DJ host talking about crazy stories. That's all I am, and that's all I do. But again, you're listening to What in the World with your boy Wilson. We talking about stuff like Charizard-shaped Cheetos. That's this show. Very high quality, riveting, mind-provoking content here. All right? And even the music is very complicatedly intellectual. So if you guys aren't smart, this probably isn't your show. Okay, so let's talk about this. Hiker lost in China's frigid mountains for 10 days survives by eating toothpaste. That's right, you heard it here. Toothpaste is what this guy used. Now, I didn't know there was nutritional value in toothpaste. I mean, fluoride, what is there carbs? Maybe you all should Google it. He reportedly survived on stream water, melted snow, and toothpaste. Now, if you're getting water, I feel you, bruh. Water gonna take care of you. I'm not sure toothpaste was what helped him survive. An 18-year-old hiker was rescued after surviving 10 days in the frigid mountains of northwestern China. Stranded without food, Sun Liang, I don't know, relied on river water, melted snow, and even toothpaste to survive. Mr. Sun set out on 8 December on a solo trek along the Aotai Pass, part of the Qingling Range in Shaanxi, northwest China. 2 days later, having reached an altitude of 2,500 meters, which I don't know what that is, he lost contact with his family when his electronic devices died. Now, batteries? Like what? Stranded in the freezing wilderness, Mr. Sun attempted to find a way out by following a stream, but suffered multiple falls. Broke his right arm. That's not great. So now we've got like a trauma response in the body. And I would imagine more calories are needed as a result. But, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a badminton player for the UK. With no food, he survived on stream water, melted snow, and toothpaste. To escape the biting wind, he took shelter behind a large rock, using dry leaves as bedding. Boy, this Sun guy's pretty smart. Eating toothpaste, making dry leaf beds. On September... Let me start over. On 17... Man, they got these twisted. On February 17th, after 10 days, he smelled smoke from a rescue team's fire and shouted for help. The Aote Trail, spanning 170 kilometers, is China's most dangerous route, with over 50 climbers missing or die in the past 2 decades. Authorities closed it to travelers in 2018, but adventurers continue to take the risk. Mr. Sun is believed to be the first to be rescued after getting lost in the area. He said he didn't know it was banned. He just came to challenge himself. After the incident, he was scared. Aotai is completely unsuitable for trekking. The weather's very harsh. There's no beautiful scenery. I call on everyone not to conquer this route because life is priceless. Now, Mr. Sun's rescue involved over 30 peeps and reportedly cost his family 80,000 won, which is 8,700 pounds, which I don't know how that translates into American. But anyway, I guess toothpaste is food. All right? I guess toothpaste is food. Now, this is interesting. I don't know if you've heard today, and I didn't realize Gene Hackman was 90 years old, or maybe over 90. But Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy's death are reportedly being called suspicious just hours after police said no foul play was suspected. And again, it's one thing for a 90-year-old man to be found dead. Okay? I mean, it's sad, but it happens. But his wife and his dog, and police say no foul play was suspected, I called foul on that out the gate. I mean, and we were discussing, carbon monoxide poisoning, and they've ruled that out. So this is definitely a what in the world. And Gene Hackman was a great actor, and so, anyway, this is a sad state of affairs. But Gene Hackman and his wife, the death of the 2 deceased individuals is suspicious enough in nature to require a thorough search and investigation because the reporting party found the front door unsecured and opened. Deputies observed a healthy dog running loose, another healthy dog near the deceased female, and a deceased dog laying 10 to 15 feet from the deceased female in a closet of the bathroom. So that's the heater being moved, the pill bottle being open, and pills scattered next to the female, the male descendant being located in a separate room of the residence, and no obvious signs of a gas leak. So that I mean, my spidey senses are going off. And then I didn't realize, and I just learned, there were 3 dogs total. 2 of them are still alive. 1 is dead. I mean, I don't know if he ate the pills. Like, maybe they there's just like I said, when you don't have anybody alive to talk to, how do you find out? How do you know? But it's a sad state of affairs. My condolences to the family. He was 95, which again, if it would have been just him alone, you'd have been like, well, of course he's dead. He's 95. But she was 64. And the bodies were reportedly discovered by 2 maintenance workers who hadn't seen the couple in 2 weeks. Not a good vibe at all. Hackman and Arakawa, when one of their dogs were found dead inside their New Mexican home on Wednesday. That was yesterday. The men informed police that the front door was ajar when they arrived. However, officers reportedly found no signs of forced entry. She was on her right side on the floor near a countertop. They reportedly believe she may have fallen. The authorities also found an orange prescription bottle. They don't say what was in it. Like that would tell me a lot as an ex-professional junkie. I know my way around some pills, especially scattered pills. As for Hackman, he was reportedly found in a room near the kitchen. He was fully clothed, and it's suspected that he also fell as his sunglasses were next to his body on the ground. Now, that is just interesting to me. The Santa Fe County Sheriff's told Page 6 Thursday foul play is not currently suspected as a factor in those deaths. And that's just nuts, right? Sheriff Adan reportedly told TMZ that Hackman and Arakawa had been dead for at least a day. However, the outlet is now reporting that she, at least, had been dead for some time. So that's crazy. Her body was in a state of decomp, and there was bloating and mummification on her hands and feet. As of now, there are no signs of evidence indicating there are any problems to carbon monoxide, no associated problems to the pipes in and around the residence. So that is nuts. He was survived by his 3 children, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie. Rest in peace, Gene Hackman. But again, what in the world? There's just so much stuff to unpack there that I think we should take a break, cleanse the palate a little bit. And this song here goes out to every last stinking librarian in Dickinson. Yeah, that's right. This goes out to the librarians in Dickinson Public Library in the western part of the state. Here you go, Rocky Raccoon. Scary Pockets on 95 point. Zibbity-doobity-boo-boo, Rocky Raccoon, featuring George Crikey. That's Scary Pockets on 95.9, Radio Free Fargo.org. We're streaming everywhere you got an ear. Shout out to our community partners at Fix It Forward Auto Care with 4 Fargo, Moorhead, and West Fargo locations. They handle anything from routine maintenance to complex vehicle repairs. Fix It Forward focuses on quality, integrity, and giving back to the community. For more information, you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, or at their website at fixitforwardautocare.com. You're listening to What in the World with Wilson. I am Wilson. What in the World is the contextual explanation of my show. I tell you a story, you go, what in the world? And, this is happening today and every Thursday that you're alive. You can come here. After me, Stinky Arts Music, Mart's last show, and it's a sad day because of that. But we wish him well in all of his endeavors. And maybe he come back. Maybe he do, huh? Maybe Stinky come back. Stinky come back. All right, I can't sing. And that's not what I do here. I talk about stuff. So we got something here. It's from Daily Atomic. And I don't even know what we got going on here, but this is a crazy story. This gentle giant at a Louisiana truck stop had an unforgettable encounter with trespassers. And you don't know, like I know, that we're talking about a camel here. Look, we've all made questionable decisions while trying to rescue our pets, but this might take the cake. A truly wild situation unfolded at a Louisiana truck stop where apparently there's a bunch of wild animals there. I didn't know. Next time I'm out and around Baton Rouge, maybe I check out this camel. When a woman found herself in what might be the most uncomfortable position possible with a camel named Casper. And yes, this is a real story. Wait, why is there a camel at a truck stop? That's a good question, Jim. First things first, though. This all went down at a truck stop in Grosse Tete? Whoa. Grosse Tete? Louisiana. I feel like I was saying something bad there for a minute. But 20 minutes outside Baton Rouge, and apparently keeping exotic animals at this particular stop is totally cool. They've been doing it for 30 years, including once having a tiger because, Louisiana, I guess. How did this bizarre situation even happen? Well, a good question again, Jim. A couple is hanging out at a truck stop when the husband, who clearly didn't think things through, typical husband, right? Men, decides to toss dog treats under the fence of Casper's enclosure. Now, he's not a dog. So, that was his first mistake, I feel. They're dogs, though. He was a dog. He immediately crawled under the fence to get the treats because they were dog treats and, he's a dog. What happens next is a master class on how not to handle the situation. Instead of, asking the truck stop employees for help, the couple made the questionable decision to just kind of go under the barbed wire fence themselves, just to kind of talk to Casper mano a mano. Let me repeat that. They crawled under barbed wire to enter a camel's enclosure. According to Iberville Parish Deputy Lewis Hamilton Jr., things got heavy, literally, when Casper decided to take a seat right on top of the woman. Now, for context, male dromedaries can weigh up about 13, 20 pounds. That's when our protagonist made a decision that would make headlines. Oh, no, here we go. See, now, I don't read these articles in advance. I look at the title, right? But I just kind of felt this in my chest. I didn't know it was coming. I'm going to start over. That's when our protagonist, right, she's underneath this camel who's sitting on her, 1,300 pounds. She made a decision that would make headlines and that will make y'all gasp, I promise you. She bit Casper's testicles to free herself. Now, you're like, what in the world, right? Well, I mean, survival mode, bruh. You got to do what you got to do. If you got a camel sitting on you, what are you going to do? Huh? What are you going to do when Casper sits on you, brother? I don't know. She goes, I bit his balls to get him off of me. I bit his testicles to get him off of me, she told police, just in case anyone missed it the first time. An investigation revealed that the couple had actually provoked Casper before he sat on the woman. Truck stop manager Pamela Bossier spilled that the husband was swatting at Casper with his hat and shoving him. Not cool. The camel did nothing wrong. The couple was aggressive. The camel was just doing its normal routine. The couple ended up getting cited for a leash law violation and criminal trespassing, which ain't much. Those warning signs posted every 10 feet, yeah, they were here for a reason. When questioned about the incident, the husband's response to why he threw the treat on the fence was, I wasn't thinking. As for Casper, he's really a gentle giant. Just maybe don't crawl into a space uninvited, and we can all avoid any future testicle biting incidents. Man. Now, the question I have right now, and I'm guessing y'all have it too. Did he get up? I mean, did it work? Did Casper get off the woman after she did that? I mean, my guess is yes. But there was no further explanation, no more further damage. She got away, so if it worked, I mean, I think it's crazy, but I understand, right? Okay. So, we got one from New York Post. I'm terrified of spiders, so I started sleeping in a tent on my bed. Of course you did. A woman with a crippling fear of spiders sleeps in a tent on her bed to protect her from the crawlies. Estella, I can't pronounce her last name, grew up terrified of arachnids and was horrified when she saw one in her room in her flat in Clapham. She moved into a different room with her flatmate, because that's what they call it in Clapham, Imogen, for a while to avoid the critter. She grew up terrified and was horrified when she saw one in her room. So, after eventually plucking up the courage to return to her own bedroom, she ordered a mosquito net on Amazon to fix to her mattress to prevent any insects. And now she's been sleeping in the tent for 4 months and has no plans to stop. I used to stay in a tent in an apartment one time, but I was just all hippied up, you know. I mean, when you spend over a year in Seattle, you come back to Waupun in North Dakota, you sleep in a tent in your room. All right. Estella, a law student, said, I've not seen any spiders since using the tent. She says, I don't really think a psychologist or psychiatrist would be too impressed. She goes, I know I'm avoiding my fears. It's not horrible. It's not a horrible idea. Really. You know what I mean? Okay, we got another weird but true here from the NYP. Let me get you the title here. Restaurant owner stunned as woman walks in restroom and steals bathroom sink. It's very unusual. Restaurant owner was left stunned when he discovered a woman had walked into his eatery and walked out with a designer stink. Did I say stink? I meant stink. But you probably stink until you use the sink, so, you know, sue me, bruh. She had stolen from the customers' toilets. Robert Mailman, not to be confused with the mailman, says he has seen a lot of things in the 25 years he spent in the hospitality business since moving over to England from Argentina. Now, I would love to hear some of that, you know, but the owner of Jardim Rodizio Grill in Altrincham, Greater Manchester, was left taken aback when a member of his cleaning staff sent him a photo showing one of their $190 sinks had gone missing. He was shocked to find out someone had stolen a sink. After checking the CCTV from the evening of Thursday, February 20, Robert could see what appeared to be a woman entering the toilets with a large black bag which looked empty. Then footage from 10 minutes later shows what appears to be the woman walking out with the same bag which is now bulging, i.e. full of a sink. Big old sink in there. Robert said, I've seen a lot of things in hospitality. Knives, forks, and glasses. I've had a lot of experience with people that steal from me. Wines, when I had other restaurants and the wine was on exhibition. I never thought I'm going to see this. It's very good that she didn't need the toilet. Otherwise, she would have taken the toilet. Both the sink and its attached pipes are now gone from the restaurant, which has private cubicles with their own mirrors and sinks for each customer toilet. Well, that's nice. Baffled Robert said, the only thing that surprised me is how the person knew that it's very easy to access to that, and that it would be very easy to dismantle. And I agree. If I seen a cool toilet and I thought, boy, I am a lowlife, I don't mind taking stuff that don't belong to me. I'm just going to go in the back. I'm going to grab this crescent wrench that I surprisingly now have on me. I'm going to locate the hot and cold water. I'm going to shut these off. I'm going to get this pipe, and then I'm going to take the P trap off. What? I mean, I feel like you don't just walk in without any information regarding sink theft and steal a sink. But whatever. Baffled, he says, what I can think is maybe it was a customer who came one day, checked, and then came another day to do the job. To be honest, I have no idea what to think. It's very unusual. It's very unusual. Apparently, she also stopped by the restaurant's buffet as she leaves, but she doesn't take any food. She was passing the buffet, and she was thinking maybe to have some food as well with her hands. Thank God she didn't take anything, right? Because her hand's all funky from that sink. Now, what's crazy, the restaurant owner says he hasn't reported the theft to police, as he believes they have other important things to deal with. That's crazy. And he says it's not the first theft. He had a $3,800 e-bike stolen in seconds after someone forced their way into the establishment. However, they found that guy and they jailed him. But he says, I don't think for this thing I need to bother the police. Oh, man. This is the kind of stuff. Well, as long as we're talking about toilets, huh? People have released footage of the moment thieves rolled a 4.75 million pound gold toilet away from Blenheim Palace. Sledgehammer-wielding thieves smashed their way into Oxfordshire country house where Sir Churchill was born and stole a toilet in September 2019. Man, in footage shown to jurors on Tuesday, two cars come screaming across the lawn towards the palace before three men make their way inside. 5 minutes later, they can be seen rolling the 18-karat gold toilet away from the building during the raid. It is then bundled into the back of a blue VW Golf, causing the car suspension to sag under the 98-kilogram weight. Which is that just 100 pounds? What kind of suspensions you got, bruh? Is it a golf cart? One of the group can be seen clutching the golden toilet, which is also thrown into the back of the car. Palace security guards chased on foot as the vehicle sped away. Michael Jones pled not guilty in January to stealing artwork in an overnight raid. Frederick, whatever, they deny one count of conspiracy to commit transfer criminal property. Well, whatever. The fully functional toilet and artwork called America by Italian blah, blah, blah was insured for the sum of $6 million. 5 days after the exhibition opened, Jones visited with his partner on what prosecutors have described as the first of two reconnaissance visits. The thieves drove through the locked wooden gates into the grounds of the palace before breaking in through a window. They knew where to go exactly, broke down the door to the cubicle. The toilet was fully plumbed in. They removed it, leaving water pouring out of the pipes, and drove away. Within days of the raid, two men were using car as a code word for the stolen gold, and contact was made with a Hatton Garden jeweler. So they caught him. So let's keep cruising. Here. Oh, yeah, we got a good one for you here. This is from AP News. Colombian police catch a man smuggling packets of cocaine under his toupee. And you can Google it. It's ABC Channel 6, and you can see the picture of this schmuckball's coke head. I mean, I just realized what I just said. This is a true cokehead, right? When you've got coke on your head, you're the true definition of a cokehead. I would like it if he was actually placed in the dictionary, especially if it's an urban jive dictionary of cokehead. We put this guy with his narco wig full of the cocaine. Colombian police apprehended a 40-year-old man attempting to smuggle several baggies of cocaine concealed beneath a meticulously attached toupee. I mean, again, what a cokehead. Police said the suspect was detained at Cartagena's airport on Monday as he prepared to board a flight. Scanner revealed the hidden cargo, 220 grams of cocaine packaged in a small bag, strategically placed under what authorities describe as a narco wig. Police estimate the street value at approximately 10,000 euros, which I don't know if that's more or less than American, because that don't sound like a lot. But anyway, an officer wearing blue gloves, and I don't know why they mentioned the color, really. Why did you have to say blue gloves? You could just say gloves? I digress. Carefully remove the suspect's wig with sivers, revealing approximately a dozen packets of cocaine. He had 2 previous drug trafficking convictions, and he probably did it normal for a while, right? He's like, I gotta do this right. Organized crime groups are exploiting young people, falsely suggesting they can easily bypass the security measures. And I mean, I just don't think you should try anything out of Colombia, to be honest. But that is our cokehead of the week. Bum, 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 bum. Thieves nab pricey bulldogs from a Colorado pet store after faking a seizure. Thieves nabbed a pair of high-priced bulldogs from a Colorado pet store. One guy faked a seizure. Another guy grabbed the puppies from a pen and ran out. 3 men walked into a pet store. They sell for $4,200 a piece. I mean, that sounds like robbery to me. While a 37-year-old appeared to have a seizure, one of the other men lifted the pen, grabbed the puppies, took 2. An employee tried to tackle him. The man dropped the puppies, grabbed him again, and ran out with the second man. They got into a gold Escalade. Now, what's with all this gold stuff this show, huh? Gold toilets, gold cars. The man who allegedly faked a seizure was arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit a felony, theft, and drug possession, which I'm not surprised. You know, that sounds like a cocaine job to me. One of the puppies was later returned. So there must be more puppies out. And that's too bad. Well, I'm going to play a quick songy song here. And then we're going to wrap this thing up. Stinky Arts Music Mart will be in after this. Here's Burden in My Hand, Soundgarden, 95.9. Oh, man, Burden in My Hand, Soundgarden, 1996. On KRWF, 95.9. RadioFreeFargo.org. We're streaming everywhere. What in the world with Wilson has almost came to an end. Every Thursday I get in here 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock I wander out. Stinky Arts Music Mart's last show is right after this. So stick around, stay tuned. Keep it groovy, huh? Programming at KRWF 95.9 LPFM is being underwritten by Dark Horse IT, a local IT management and cybersecurity company located in Moorhead, Minnesota. Dark Horse IT helps your businesses run smoothly and efficiently by supplying top-tier quality IT services such as endpoint and network security, professional email security, and more. For information, call 701-660-0909 or visit darkhorseIT.com. Dark Horse IT. It's IT done right. This show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy. Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook. 1,200 mgs of locally grown hemp whipped up into a fun tub with con-free, colloidal. It's just an outer body butter for your body. Your outer body, bruh. All right. Thank you, Black Cottage Alchemy, for sponsoring this show. Now, I used to do all the drugs, and now I don't. And I show the man upstairs props. For that, I'll be clean 5 years in August. And I'm stoked about that. And I show him props every Sunday, 417 Main Avenue, Antioch Church, 10 a.m. recovery, 11 a.m. worship. Thank you for hanging out with me this hour. What in the world with Wilson? Now, I got more stuff. I got a lot more stuff, which will probably show back up next week because, now, this is an Australian story, and this is kind of wild. If you're into news, you probably have heard this, but I'm guessing you haven't. This is from a current affair. Man forced to sit next to corpse for hours after passenger dies on long-haul flight. Now, again, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collins saw spare seats on their flight from Melbourne, and they thought they'd lucked out. Now, that's crazy, because I just got back from Ecuador. 8 flights total there and back. And some planes just aren't completely full, and you love that. Especially if you go economic like me, and I always get stuck in the middle. And being in the middle is not the choice spot. If you can get a full roll to yourself, that's like bonus. But a dream trip to Venice quickly turned into a nightmare when a passenger died whilst in the air. Oh, man. See, I didn't realize this. The crew decided to put the dead passenger's body in Ring and Collins Row for the remaining 4 hours of the flight. The couple said they were traumatized by the incident, which unfolded when a woman walked out of the bathroom and collapsed next to the row. That's crazy, right? Unfortunately, the lady couldn't be saved, which is pretty heartbreaking to watch because you're watching them try, and then they die. They tried to wheel her up towards business class, which why you stick in this dead lady at VIP? I don't know. Or maybe business class. Is that first class? I don't know. But she was quite a large lady, and they couldn't get her through the aisle. They looked a bit frustrated, and they just looked at me and saw seats were available. Beside me, my wife was on the other side. We were in a row of 4. They said, "Can you move over, please?" And I just said, "Yeah, no problem." Then they placed the lady in the chair I was in. The couple claims cabin crew did not offer them a different seat with a passenger in the row behind them instead of offering a spare seat to nervous flyer Colin. There were a few spare seats I could see around us. Ring spent the remaining hour of the flight in the same row as the corpse, saying he was told to stay seated as medical crews took off blankets covering the body after the plane landed. I can't believe they told us to stay. It wasn't nice. They haven't been offered any support from Qatar Airways. This is a true what in the world story. I mean, and what would you do? I would get up and, I just wouldn't be good with it, bruh. This person probably evacuated. It stinks. What? They have a duty of care towards their customers as well as their staff. We should be contacted to make sure. Do you need some support? Again, that's got to be traumatizing. I don't really know how I feel and would like to speak to somebody to make sure I'm all right. And then they got to go on a holiday, you know. They go, I'm trying to make the best of a pretty hard situation, but we're on holiday, so we're really trying to have a good time. Since the current affair spoke to the pair, Qatar Airways is looking into the situation. Qantas, which the couple booked the flight through, said it will speak directly to the couple. It was in the process of contacting impacted passengers. Oh, man. That is buck wild, folks. And you heard that here. That is crazy. Now, I'm just going to read this title here. Tourist whose hand was bitten off by a shark was trying to protect herself. Oofda. Oofda. All right. What do we got here? Oh, yeah, we got to talk about this one. All right. This is from Time Magazine. This is an older article. I'm not sure if I covered it. My brain works like that. But I love people who change their names. And this one is, have you ever had a really delicious meal and then wished you could find some way to properly honor the glorious food you've just consumed? Well, this man in the UK apparently once ate a bacon double cheese so delicioso that he decided to honor it by literally changing his own name to Bacon Double Cheeseburger, which, BDC, bruh, come on through, bruh. This is my boy, Bacon Double Cheeseburger right here. Hey, Tiffany, have you met my boy, Bacon Double? I love it. That's dedication. This man used to be known as Simon Smith. Well, anybody like John Smith, Dan Smith are just, an opportunity away from changing their name. Because how boring is Simon Smith? A name is the least important part of your personality, the 33-year-old resident reported. It's given to you by someone else. So how did he choose his new identity? It was simply the first thing he thought of. Last year, he officially changed his name by deed poll. We can only assume that he really, really, really loves bacon double cheeseburgers and is not a vegetarian, trying to be ironic. Mr. Bacon Double Cheeseburger, how are you doing, sir? Okay, what do we got here? This is from Oddity Central. U.S. woman has taken legal action against a fertility clinic after an error essentially made her an unwitting surrogate, carrying and eventually another couple's baby and having to give up custody. Now, this is crazy, right? The day Christina Murray learned that she was pregnant after undergoing IVF treatment, it was the happiest day of her life. But that happiness soon turned to horror when she gave birth in December that same year. Now, that's just crazy to me. Despite being white and having chosen a white sperm donor, Christina gave birth to a black boy. Huh. Right? Huh. She didn't allow her family and friends to see that baby. That sounds kind of racist. And in January last year, a DNA test confirmed that she and the baby were not related. They alerted the IVF clinic about the mix-up and decided to keep the baby and even got to raise it for a few months until his biological parents filed for custody. To carry a baby, fall in love with them, deliver them, and build a unique special bond, all to have them taken away, I'll never fully recover from this. The woman voluntarily gave up custody of the baby she carried in her room after her legal team told her that she stood no chance of being granted custody since it wasn't hers. And she goes, my baby's not genetically mine. He doesn't have my blood. He doesn't have my eyes, but he is and always will be my son. That is nuts. I don't have any words for that. But that's too bad. Right? That's too bad. All right. Well, here we got a fun one. And then I think I'm going to jump out of here. We're going to let Stinky Arts Music Mart do his thing. African man has 16 wives, 104 children, and 144 grandchildren. Mzee Ernesto Munuchi Kapinga, a man from a small village in Tanzania, has a very special family. He's married to 16 ladies, has over 100 children, and 144 grandchildren. These days, many men struggle with the idea of starting a family and having even one extra kid. Taking care of more than 2 or 3 is unthinkable in our society. But then you have guys like Mzee Ernesto Munuchi Kapinga. He dedicated his life to expanding their family. His homestead looks like a small village featuring a house for every one of his wives. That's 16 houses and people running around everywhere doing chores and looking after dozens of small children. That's insane. Oh, I guess his father made him do it. All right. Well, let's see if I got one more story for you. Oh, well, here we go. A woman accused of locking boyfriend in storage unit for days is wanted for attempted murder. Woman whose last name is Null keeps running into trouble with computer systems. That makes sense. Man offers to split $525,000 jackpot with thieves who stole his credit card. And here we got one. I'm just running through titles now just to get up and moving. Man traumatized by earthquakes has been living in a cave for 2 years. All right. Well, you've been listening to What in the World with Wilson. I'm Wilson on 95.9, an independent radio station worthy of your donations if you feel like it. RadioFreeFargo.org. We are supported by listeners. We get no actual real. We just out here. All right. So we thank you for your love. Up next is Stinky Arts Music Mart. But to put you to bed, here's Remember to Breathe, Sturgill Simpson. We'll see you next Thursday. Peace.